Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to J3 Entertainment. You guys know what time it is.
Versus. Death battle.
What we got today, bro?
Magneto versus Tetsuo.
Okay. This is a strange one.
Yeah.
This is a strange one. So we got Marvel versus Akira.
Yeah.
Okay. For those up there that's new to the channel, let me explain how we like to react to death battles. There's segments in this thing. First thing first, since me and Ronin know who the contenders are, we'll go ahead and put our money on the table, and we'll tell you who we think is going to win this battle. Second thing, we actually watch the breakdown of each character that's in this battle.
Yeah.
Third, we have an opportunity to switch off for the person we chose in the beginning because we found out some things about him. We're like, yo, this guy's going to win.
Right. True.
Fourth, we watch the battle. Fifth, we talk about it.
Yep. All the above.
Now, if you want to skip, there is a time step down below. So, with that said, you ready to get into this?
I'm ready.
All right. Who you got?
I'm going to say Tetsuo right now. Yeah.
I like the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
Akira's a different breed.
Yeah.
It's a different breed.
Anime, they can go anywhere.
Okay.
It's an anime character.
And I'm not sleeping on my boy Magneto.
Not at all.
But there's
because we know what he brings.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So,
but it's the rules. It's all about where it takes place.
Let's get into it, man.
Magneto, Marvel's mutant master of magnetism.
Tetsuo Shima, Akira's telekinetic terror of Neo-Tokyo.
That fool head is
These
huge.
two maestros of kinesis have ignited revolution not just in their worlds, but also the very mediums they exist within.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. In the short duration of modern civilization, likely no conflict tested humanity more than the Second World War. In the primary Marvel 616 universe, this fact is no different, especially to the Eisenhart family and their only son.
This was tight, man.
You may know him as
Probably one of the best
Magnus,
part
Eric,
of X-Men.
or Max, but if you ask him,
Facts.
he'd say his true name is Magneto.
As a Jewish child
Eric
in Nazi
Lynch.
Germany, Magneto's early life was, well, extremely
Especially
traumatic.
first class.
Even after eventually
Great
escaping certain death with his future wife, misfortune always followed wherever he went.
Thanks to his unexpected mutation called the X gene, the mark of a superhuman. After settling down in Russia with his new family, the KGB quickly found out about this quirk, so they burned his house down with his own daughter inside.
Naturally, he snapped and killed them all. I don't blame him. I'd do that too. Too
Yeah.
bad his wife didn't get it and ditched him though. But that's when Magneto made a choice. Since humans hurt him his entire life, he'd do the same to them in the name of mutants everywhere.
At first,
That's
Magneto
one.
turned to the telepathic powerhouse Charles Xavier and his fledgling team of heroes. But his new friend wasn't thrilled with the idea of, subjugating the human race. So, Magneto formed his own team of mutants, the Brotherhood.
Magneto can telekinetically move, bend, and reshape any metal he's aware of. Bullets, vehicles, buildings, you name it. Even himself when he
Dang.
manipulates his personal magnetic field for flight and energy barriers.
Magnetokinesis is far more versatile than it would appear at first glance. The blood in your body has iron in it. The air has traces of lead and mercury. Whole mountains are lined with metallic ore. The earth itself is surrounded by a literal magnetic
SOP.
field.
So many toys for Maggie to play with. He can detect magnetic fields at such a huge range, he can even pinpoint Earth's magnetic rays while stranded on a planet in another galaxy. And guess what? He was able to use those rays to pull himself back to Earth in a single day.
His range is even more remarkable than that. Did you know that in 1820, physicist Hans Christian Ørsted discovered that electric
where in the world's
currents,
Carmen
like
San
those of
Diego?
electrons and protons and atoms, produce their own magnetic fields? Magneto can fine-tune his control to affect these very subatomic particles. Dummy here will illustrate such a particle, with positively charged protons and negative electrons.
My life is as meaningless as an atom is small.
So what you're saying is Magneto could, like, yank one of those out.
Correct, potentially changing an atom's entire chemical makeup. However, neutrons do not have a charge, and without the ability to adjust those to accommodate the change in atomic mass, the atom would become unstable and
Finally!
Explode.
do that. Magneto's violent protest against humankind clashed with Xavier's peaceful reconciliation, not unlike the ideologies taught by Malcolm X and Dr. King, by whom Stan Lee and Jack Kirby were inspired. Magneto would spend most of his career pushing Xavier away to prove his philosophy superior, which meant doing battle with Xavier's school of thought. Quite literally.
And
Non-violent.
Baldy's mind powers are
Oh,
no
that's a
joke,
cool picture.
but thanks to
Yeah.
Magneto's psionic repelling helmet, Professor X couldn't touch him. Magneto survived Cyclops' earth-splitting lasers, absorbed the power of the sun to battle Iron Man, ripped the adamantium
Damn.
skeleton out of Wolverine's body, and even taken on Hercules himself. You know, the Greek legend, Zero to Hero? The guy who held up the skies of Olympus for Atlas? That Hercules.
Seems sensible. Magneto once
Atlas
used
is
the Earth's
cold.
magnetic field to overwhelm the Phoenix Force, which can effortlessly destroy planets,
What?
let alone far more.
Hell, if he really wanted to, Magneto could totally just fling the Earth off its axis.
It's entirely possible
Yeah.
he may have eventually resorted to just that. Over time, it became
Last
clear
Stand, he
Magneto's
did
war
that.
was doing far more harm than good for his fellow mutants, however well-intentioned he may have been at first.
Luckily, he later realized he was going a bit overboard and began reevaluating his perspective. Good for you, Mags. It's really tough to recognize when you're the baddie.
It took time and patience not just from Magneto, but also from his peers. Yet eventually, his path was completely changed. He even became a leader for Xavier's X-Men.
But don't let his new goody two-shoes ways fool you. Whenever there's a threat to mutants, you can bet Magneto will be there to annihilate it. Forever. By any means necessary.
Over 30 years ago, a new type of bomb was set off over Tokyo, and 9 hours later, began the Third World War.
Welcome to 2030, or 2019 if
I
you're
like
watching
that.
the anime.
World War
the buildings
II,
are taller,
Magneto,
the
World War III.
motorcycles are
Yeah.
cooler, and the future is brighter. Oh, wait, not really. If you find yourself in the capsule
Art's
gang,
still here.
you'll meet Shotaro Kaneda, who's like your textbook anime Chad. Gets the ladies, beats the baddies, and cops the sweetest rigs. Man, I need to get me one of those.
And then there's the little brother of the group, Kaneda's best friend, Tetsuo Shima. He's, well,
The exact opposite. A total wimp. As a kid, Tetsuo in his college thesis forehead got bullied for being the new kid at the orphanage. That's until Big Bro Kaneda came to the rescue.
eventually the two went to vocational school together and formed the Capsules. But Tetsuo was never satisfied with Kaneda being the leader of the pack. Tetsuo desired more than anything to be top dog.
Oh, I can just see that monkey's paw curling in my mind. Or that kid walking down the street. Shit, Tetsuo, watch out, you're gonna...
Ooh.
That definitely should have killed him. But since it didn't, Tetsuo earned himself a ticket to military confinement. Turns out they had an under-the-table program for developing child superweapons.
In the same program that backfired and jump-started the war, Tetsuo became Japan's Esper number 41.
He may not have been a natural with bikes, baddies, or babes, but this telekinesis stuff hit different. He
Okay.
walked out of that hospital ward effortlessly
amped up
flying,
11.
reading
Yeah.
minds, and blending
Yep.
people into strawberry jelly. Tetsuo got what he wanted. Power, along with the hunger for more of it.
A hunger that used to only be satiated with drugs. And not just any gateway drug, pills so potent that a single gram of the stuff could kill you.
So, pretty bad. Kinda reminds me of college days, huh? Snow wizard.
Tetsuo's main ability is his constantly increasing psionic energy, growing more and more powerful over time. This is due to Tetsuo's link to, quote, the memories of the universe, end quote. It's weird.
Either way, Tetsuo leveled up from lame gangbuster to certified badass. This guy is a walking natural disaster. His telekinesis can shake the planet, easily cause earthquakes over a dozen miles below the surface. He can summon psychic barriers for defense and crush foes with friggin' gravity wells. He can dart around as a literal bolt of lightning or even teleport in an instant.
Tetsuo's telekinesis can be so precise he can target and obliterate specific parts of the body. He can
Damn.
heal severe wounds quickly, but even after losing a whole limb, he can craft a new one using whatever nearby materials he wants.
With these powers, Top Dog Kaneda didn't
gets
matter
powerful over
anymore.
time.
Who needed his approval? Tetsuo tasted that good shit and he was hooked. And when he found out another Esper named Akira could deal him even more power, he rampaged through Tokyo to find him.
And this is where versions of the story differ.
Ahem, spoilers ahoy!
You may be familiar with the 1988 animation, where Akira had been dissected for research. However, in the original manga, Akira is not only alive, but even more powerful.
Once that little runt nuked Tokyo, Tetsuo would erect the Great Tokyo Empire with Akira and himself as its leaders. But he ended up just abusing the position for endless sex and inflating his ego.
With Kanada's rebellion at his front door, Tetsuo took a turn for the worse. He had to fight.
Tetsuo's defeated other powerful espers, dodged light-speed lasers, and jumped to the moon faster than anyone could blink, and then punched a big old hole in it. And if you ask, Boomerstick, wouldn't that mess up gravity on Earth? You would be right, because it totally did. Screwed the planet, I guess. Stupid moon.
Which brings us to Tetsuo's folly. His abuse of his powers spiraled until he lost control. Unfortunately for Kanada's rebellion, this did not make Tetsuo an easier enemy to confront. Exactly opposite, in fact, has Tetsuo painfully mutated into an unstoppable behemoth.
Yep, that's not totally disturbing at all.
I'm happy to say the manga's version is even more disturbing.
I mean, I know babies can be monsters, but that's a whole nother level.
It is pain incarnate. I can relate. Another Esper described Tetsuo's struggle as ego death, which has multiple definitions, but in this case is likely symbolic of the version attributed to drug use.
Yeah, it's described as a shedding of one's own identity, like how LSD can emulate a wild out-of-body experience, and you come back with a new perspective. Though this is maybe a little more extreme. In fact, you could say Tetsuo was shedding his human body to play with the powers of a god.
I already knew it was Rick and Morty,
I
man.
wish I could shed out of my body. But in this case, Tetsuo going full out of body meant becoming a mound of raw, ever-expanding energy.
Which almost nuked Tokyo all over again. And those explosions are not normal. I would know.
Top scientists in both the manga and animated versions describe these explosions as births of a new universe.
Given its properties of nuclear fusion and proton collapse, Tetsuo's mutated form was likely creating a Big Bang.
You know, the thing that started our whole universe?
Right, in the manga, it instead ended the Espers and their abilities once and for all. A testament that humankind is unsuited to wield the powers of the divine.
Though the anime's even more trippy. Thanks to Akira and his buddies, Tetsuo got so high on ego death, he ascended time-space to become god of a new universe. Kinda worth it, right?
And yet, Kanada kept his empire up in his honor, now as the Great Akira Empire. Ironically, in death, Tetsuo finally received the attention he so desperately craved.
All right. Woo. That is the contenders. So, Ronin, what we got, bro?
I think there could be still a chance for Tetsuo, the Akira character, but Magneto, you know, his abilities comes from just natural birth and mutation and science. Tetsuo was an experiment. Magneto was born with this, so it's like to that degree, yeah. And then, you know, he can like really destroy and take Earth if he wanted to. Tetsuo, on the other hand, is gonna give him some problems, but I don't know if he can overtake a mutant per se, because he's a government project.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards that way of Magneto too, because the simple fact is, if Magneto keeps that helmet on his head,
It's over.
he's finna kill this fool.
Yeah.
I'm changing to Magneto.
Yeah. Charles.
You going to Magneto?
Magneto.
Magneto for the win, y'all.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right, the combatants are set.
shoulda
We've
killed
run the
me,
data through all
Charles.
possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Okay,
Oh,
back
we
old
put it in
school.
Japan too?
Fail
Okay.
to recognize our superiority.
Wrong country, Grandpa! You're an Akira turf now!
Marvel versus
You're
anime.
dead meat!
I want to see that fight again.
Nice, nice.
Impudent child!
The hell are you calling child? I make the rules around here!
See, I knew they would throw that in there.
Woo!
That was tight.
You're wasting my time.
Damn.
Oh.
for the master of magnetism.
It's Magneto tight, bruh. He finna have that Quagmire arm.
He's making him stronger though.
Hey, Quagmire, where you been for a while, huh?
I'll kill you! Your history, scumbag!
Oh, he finna take that arm. Nice. Uh-oh, there it is. Helmet gone.
I believe I've had enough tantrums to last a lifetime.
That's game.
Listen, welcome. I'll handle this on my own.
There it is. No helmet.
Hurts. Help me.
Oh, snap. Woo! Magneto over there putting in work.
Poor child.
Still fighting.
Woo!
Thank you.
That was an easy aim, for his head is huge.
You are welcome.
Magneto put in that work, bruh. Took that blood. Ugh.
Right back to him.
Tetsuo's esoteric telekinesis and other bizarre abilities certainly gave Magneto pause, but the Master of Magnetism had greater control over
That's what
his
it was.
foe.
Yeah.
The numbers don't lie. Tetsuo cratering the moon was insane, but Magneto punched Iron Man with the force of the sun. And while Tetsuo jumped all the way to the moon, Magneto could move across galaxies.
Against Tetsuo in his human form, Magneto obviously held a sizable advantage in power and
He
speed.
choked him out
But
with his own
stats aren't
arm.
all that matters. With his precise telekinesis, Tetsuo
counteracted
could just
all his
target
abilities.
Magneto's organs. GG, right?
Yes, but Magneto had similar skills. There are very few substances on Earth that lack any metallic or magnetic
Yeah, but
components,
he's a mutant
and
though,
Magneto
so-
is very creative with his powers.
Which he could use to predict Tetsuo's teleportation and even shut down his telekinesis. And his scraps with Xavier prove he could handle Tetsuo's messing with his head.
Right, he
the biggest
admitted all
challenge for
that.
Magneto was when Tetsuo's gross mutated power came into play.
Especially given how the detonations from this form were compared to that of a Big Bang. Although the authenticity of that observation is questionable. In truth, the Big Bang was a sudden expansion of matter on a universal scale, whereas Tetsuo's explosions are more akin to nuclear blasts, clearly intentional given the post-war symbolism of the Akira story.
The whole creating an alternate universe bit wasn't even part of the original material, so we can't exactly call it canon.
But let's just say the comparison wasn't superfluous. Let's say Tetsuo did in fact cause a Big Bang capable of creating or destroying an entire universe, alternate or otherwise.
Turns out Magneto had the tools to stop that too. Helmet Head could overpower Hercules, who was strong enough to hold up the skies of Olympus, which is literally heaven and an alternate universe.
This doesn't necessarily mean Magneto could easily destroy a universe with the snap of his fingers, but it does prove he can match a similar level of power.
Yeah.
And context is everything. Tetsuo's
There you
Big
go.
Bang eruption specifically exhibited proton collapse, meaning its atomic structure was primarily an unstable mess of neutrons and electrons. And Magneto has detected and commanded unstable electrons before. This means Magneto had every means available to take control over this Big Bang.
Damn, and I thought he could just move some metal around. It's like the question posed by some of the greatest prophets of our time. Fucking magnets. How do they even work?
Magneto's astonishing power and
Okay, hold
intelligent
that fool.
control over
Yeah.
all things magnetism triumphed in the end.
Tetsuo pushed his luck, but didn't have the metal to pull off the win.
The winner is Magneto.
Magneto put that work in.
Thank you for watching this episode.
He put that work in.
Support the whole Death Battle.
All right. So we switched up.
Yeah, bro. You had organic abilities versus creation abilities.
Yep.
So that was it right there. And, you know, mutant, alien government project, you know, and then the other one also could adapt to the ability. So the attacks made him stronger to a degree. So he just immuned it. And then Magneto just channeled back what was given and thrown to him.
Yeah.
And it was all the magnetism. And then it was like the level of, they said what was like matter that was in the air. He just did all that. So you combine that, it's a wrap.
Yeah, Magneto put that work in for sure.
But we did say that there was an even playing field depending on where it took place and stuff. So they made it Japan, but it was like it's still Earth. I thought they were going to do that craziness where it's like it's going to be in his world.
Yeah.
Then it's going to no. They told the truth.
No. Yeah, Magneto put that work in. Magneto destroyed him.
Tetsuo is powerful. They did explain that. They broke that down. He's just not on his level. He's way more advanced because he's a mutant gene.
He was more of a reckless creation.
There you go.
Yeah, I ain't got much to say about this match. Magneto choked that fool out with his own arm. That was
gave it all back to him.
Yo, that was tight. That was great animation. Loving every bit of that. Yeah, I'm just bring on some more death battles.
Man,
that was fun.
I need a Marvel vs. anime fighting game now. That'd be dope.
We got that. We got that.
Yeah, we got Capcom.
Yeah, Capcom, yeah.
But it's like, man,
I'm gonna take you for a whole ride.
Remember on the Nintendo Wii, Tatsunoko versus Capcom? That was the anime version.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's the one that came with the joystick and all that stuff. Yeah.
But in Japan, they got it in the arcades. You only could get it on the Wii in North America.
Okay.
Remake.
I mean, we are in a time, and they might bring that back.
I hope so.
You know, bring it back.
You heard it first.
You know, bring it back on the console. Like we waiting for Shredder's Revenge right now.
Right.
So you know how it is. But yeah, Magneto put that work in.
He did.
That was tight. That was tight. Very impressive. I can't believe I doubted you in the beginning, Magneto. I'm sorry.
Charles.
Don't kill me. You know what I'm saying? But hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. Hope you guys enjoyed the discussion and the fandom of Death Battle and this actual battle. And I want to know who you thought was going to win this battle in the comments down below. And be honest. Don't just be like, oh, I said Magneto because he won. Nah, be honest. And tell us why. Let's build this Death Battle community back up. I'm J3.
Run the Shogun.
Woo!
Ninja Assassin.
100,000 subscribers, y'all.
We coming.